talk, though, about how we as human beings seem to be conditioned from the time we're real little to look for our good, to look for our resources, to look for our income out there. Right? We're taught about looking for, get a good job, get a good education, like as if that's the only place it comes from. Well, I guess it comes first from our parents. Our good comes from our parents. We look at our job. We maybe look at the government. We look at our retirement package. We're conditioned, in other words, to look around out there and say, where's my good coming from? Now, I love this, that I had this thought in mind, and I opened up the Science of Mind magazine this morning, right to this page. Thank you, Reverend Petra Wellness. I'm going to read just a piece of what she said, because it ties in perfectly, so thank you. She said, how many of us feel independent of the fate of the economy? You have to be honest with yourself. How many of us feel independent of the fate of the economy, our jobs, our bosses, our retirement, therefore our paychecks? How many of us feel independent of the necessity of having to work to make money? Now, if you're retired, don't raise your hand. That's different, but because you get the point still. Feeling dependent on something outside of ourselves and driven by the necessity to make money to support ourselves can create the feeling of being trapped, stuck, or just plain unhappy with our lives. Yet, when we know the spiritual truth of who we are and how this universe works, things look a little different. We live in an unlimited, abundant universe. This is exactly what I'm saying here this morning, is that we are taught, I'm using the word conditioned because we sometimes don't even realize that we have been so conditioned to look out there, to look at our job, to look at our paycheck, to look at our retirement plan, and think that's where our good is coming from. And then we go, oh, well, I don't have enough, because that's all we've looked at in a very narrow field, is that it's only coming from right there. And what we're reminding ourselves every time we do abundance is that it's coming from the greater source. Can you imagine if you were told that from the time you were a little one? That it's coming from the greater source. And yes, we're going to take action and get a job, and we're going to take action and plan wisely with our money, of course. But first cause, or spirit first. And then we start to attract all that in. So here we are, we talk about this. I talk about this. I remind myself, abundant, one source, everything else is resources. And then we go about our life, and all the little habitual patterns kick in. The little habitual patterns that keep us stuck, the little habitual patterns that we sometimes just go on automatic pilot, and we forget to remember that there is only one power and one source. And our good is not just coming from a paycheck, or whatever, however you get your money. There's so much more available. But we have to be aware first of the habitual patterns that kick in. And when we're aware of it, I see, okay, I just went to, oh, there's not enough. And what do we teach? What do I believe? What does Ernest Holmes and every other New Thought leader say? There is one source, and I can turn to it, and I can count on it, and I can open my arms to it, like we did with Margaret's song just a second ago. We can make ourselves available to this one source. For me, one of the absolute best ways to reconnect with abundant living was Mother Nature. It was in Margaret's song, and I'm going to invite Pat Richards to come up and tell us a story, because she does connection to Mother Nature really, really often.
Really well.
And really well.
Pat Richards rocks.
Oh,
She does.
So, I don't even know where to start because it's just so amazing. But so Reverend Shawn talked about the concert with Niece on Friday night, and I'd had a really crazy busy week, and I've been doing a lot of running lately, so I was super tired by the time we got here on Friday night. And she's like super correct. Like you could. There was love with a capital L everywhere in this room, and it was amazing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's like plugging into a big battery, right? And I was like, oh, we were vibrating when we left, and we went home, and I got up Saturday morning, and I have this routine on Saturday morning. My dog Bella and I go to the park because I need to reconnect with nature as much as I can, and that is That is what we do. Every weekend we go to the park and we go before the sun comes up. We get there about 5:30, 46, and it's just us. Well, there's some other people there too, but it's like, it's just a little dark and we have the best time. But this Saturday was so different. Like, we got out of the car and I have my coffee and I've got my dog and I'm ready to go and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel really good. Like nothing hurts. Like from running, nothing hurts. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Denise's song, she has a song that, it was the very first song she sang, and it's, Spirit is in this place. And I'm like, it wouldn't stop. Like the lyrics were running through my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, Spirit is in this place. Like, look at it. And Shawn had asked me earlier in the week, she's like, talk about abundance in nature. I'm like, oh my gosh, Shawn, that's so easy, right? Like, it's everywhere. And I'm like, Spirit is in this place. And then you look at this amazing place where we are, and it's like, you know, there's baseball fields, and there's soccer fields, and there's places for people to picnic. And I'm like, look at the beautiful grass. Like, it's just gorgeous. But you think about that beautiful grass, and it's all made up of blades of grass. One single blade. One single blade. And you're like, look at the gazillion numbers of blades of grass that make up this beautiful place, right? And then as we walk some more, there's this huge pond. And on top of the pond is all these birds. There's Canadian geese, there are white geese, there's ducks, there's coots, there's all these amazing birds. And you look at them and you're like, look at the power and elegance and grace that is here. And again, Spirit is in this place, is running in my head, I can't get it to stop. And I'm like, just think of the amount of birds that are here and the energy and the love and the light. And you think about the number of feathers on a bird, and you're like there's a gazillion feathers on all these birds. And they're just sitting there in this pond, and the light is just starting to turn a little, and it's like the little reflection. I'm like, it's so beautiful. And then think about what's under the water. There's turtles, and there's fish, and there's worms, and there's all these amazing things that are there. And you're like, think of the number of scales on one fish. And you're like, again, abundance is everywhere. And it's amazing. And the light is getting brighter, right? And the pink's starting to come in the sky. And we walk around this pond, and there's this one particular tree, I don't know why, just because, that the pigeons all go to. I call it the pigeon tree. It's kind of like I stopped trying to count the number of pigeons that are in this one particular tree, but they're all there. And it's just like, and you hear them and they're making that noise, and it's just like beautiful, and the love, and it's just electric. It is just electric. And then the sun starts, and the sky is like pink, and it gets pinker, and it's just like, I am vibrating by the time I got in the car. And I'm like, I got home and I'm like, Tracy, you're never gonna believe what happened. This is just and I'm like going off and I make breakfast and it's just amazing. And then I need to go run. And I start my run and it's about 7 and it was the best run I've ever had. Like I flew. I was like, it's chilly and there was a brisk air and I was just like, I felt like I was just gliding. Like it was so amazing. So amazing. Yay! Spirit is in this place.
Now the key in all of that you said is not taking any of that for granted. How often do you walk across the grass and not think about single blades? How often do you just look at a fish and not think about the fish? How often do you look at the clouds and go, oh, that's pretty, and then go on about your day? How often do you try to count pigeons in a tree, right? Because you're not taking any of that for granted. So this is where my title now comes in. So you remember the children's game that started with, I spy with my little eye. Anybody know that? Yes. Some of you are saying no. So it's a kids game that parents will often play. Kids play it together, but a lot of times keeping kids busy in the car. I spy with my little eye, and the idea is, so I'm one, and I'm going to say to you, I spy with my little eye, and I may say something that starts with a C. Your turn is to guess. What am I spying?
Camera. Church.
The camera. Okay, so that's how the game goes with the kids. What am I looking at? There's all kinds of variations on it, but basically that idea. I spy with my little eye something that starts with a P.
Yeah.
That one was pretty easy. So you get the idea. And some of you have played this idea. I spy with my little eye. So I'm asking us to be like Pat was in the story. I spy with my little eye bazillions of blades of grass. Wow, that's abundant living. I spy with my little eye 1, 2, 3, oh my gosh, too many to count. Pigeons in that tree. And start to use Mother Nature as the thing that brings us back to what am I paying attention to? So I spy with my little eye is really just another way of saying what we put our attention on is what we get more of. You know, that's one of our basic teachings, but it seems to me that we have to be reminded over and over again what it is we're looking at. And be reminded with Mother Nature is so easy and so fun and so beautiful to do, but we can do it anywhere. Now, granted, we live in concrete city and buildings, and sometimes it's a little harder to find it, but we still can. You go into your own backyard if you have one, and do the same thing Pat was describing to you. We can all do that. Go even look at a brick wall and look at the little plants that are coming through that brick wall, because life wants to grow. Life wants to be born. Does not want to be stagnant. So I spy with my little eye. What am I looking at? What am I looking for? What do I see? You can play it with each other, or you can just do it for yourself. So I have a confession to make that speaks of one of the times that I forgot to spy in the God idea, and I spied in the limitation idea. And the story is that about 3 or 4 years ago, we had a major plumbing job to do in our house. And the day that the plumber came and told us, I was home alone, told me what it was, he said very casually, oh, that's going to be $6,000. And he said it very casually. Yeah, that'll be about 6. And I looked at him, I go, 600? 1,000. I could feel my heart start to beat. I could feel I lost my breath. And I started to cry. And all I could see at that moment, I was spying, we don't have $6,000 in our savings account to cover this. And I was kind of panicking. That's why this is a confession. I was like, because I was spying what was so negative. Okay, I called Becky. Fortunately, she was able to spy something else. What she spied with her little eye was our very good credit that allowed us to find a 0% credit card. So, because she was able to spy something else, okay, all right, we can do this. She found us a 0% interest credit card. Gave us 2 years to pay for it. You bet we got it done before any interest kicked in, because that was my intention at that point. We had a free loan. But my point of this is when you have other people in your life to offer you perspective that's different than your own, take it. Because we sometimes spy in a very stuck way. And go, oh, I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know how that's going to happen. There's somebody else standing right here going, I have an idea. So it doesn't have to be a significant other. It can be family, it can be friends, but we are blessed when we have somebody else's perspective that we somehow may have just missed. And as soon as we hear it, we go, oh yeah, right? And we go, oh yeah. But in that moment, our spying got stuck and got limited. Thank goodness, just that one word. Hey, you know what? We've got really good credit. Oh, so let's change that around. When you've got people who will help you do that, really let them. Because then we can broaden our perspective and say, oh yeah, that's right. Part of our human nature, it seems, thanks to our limbic brain, I say thanks to our limbic brain, it's the survival part of us. It's the part of us that is very easy to notice what's wrong. Very easy to notice what's bad. Very easy to notice what's stuck. And that's part of us that wants to keep us safe, but sometimes we just don't need this part of our brain chiming its little voice. But have you noticed that? That sometimes the go-to thing is, this is what's wrong. Oh, The good news is that we can teach ourselves to get unstuck. And that's what we're doing here in this philosophy, time after time after time, is how do I get unstuck? And what I know for myself is that if I want to live an abundant life, and if I want to make a difference to other people, which I do, and don't you?
Yes.
You do. I hear it all the time. This world that works for everyone that we talk about requires us to live abundantly, requires us to wake up, requires us to spy with our little eyes something amazing. And so we are just teaching ourselves day after day after day to look for the good. I know I say that all the time, but I really want that. I spy with my little eye to go home with us today. I spy with my little eye and see what we can find that's good. Because here's also what I know. Ernest Holmes says, change your thinking, change your life. What I have learned through my time doing this philosophy and practicing these tools is that I must first change my thinking, change my feeling, change my focus, change my believing. I got to change that before I can change action. And our world is so full of do this, do that, do this, don't do that, all these action steps. None of them are very lasting, if you have noticed for yourself. None of them stick. None of them really, really last until we change on the inside. And so I talk about abundance every year, twice a year. And yet what I know is that sometimes we still feel stuck. We may say, let me do this budgeting thing. We may say, let me do this tithing thing. But it has to start first on the inside. Having to believe that this is an abundant universe. And this is partly why I had to go like this with Margaret. Opening up to it, making ourselves available to the good that's already there. So that our consciousness, our feeling, our thinking believes it deeply. Then the actions that we take are juicy and full. Pat was describing that at first she was tired. But once she filled up with all that goodness of nature, her run was amazing. See, she shifted it from I'm tired, it's been a busy week, to look, which energized her. That's the perfect example of it. To fill ourselves up from the inside first, consciously, then whatever actions we take are coming from that. That's the whole goal of abundant living. So your assignment this week, if you choose to accept this assignment, is to keep asking yourselves, or keep saying the phrase, I spy with my little eye, and look for every wonderful, amazing thing that you can. Don't forget yourself. I spy with my little eye. I'm standing upright. Wow, thank you, bones and muscles, for doing that. I spy with my little eye. I just ate this food and it energized my body. You know, don't forget yourself. I spy with my little eye, wherever this is. There's beautiful music coming from this piano and from Ross and from Margaret. All kinds of things. If we're willing to look, I spy with my little eye. That's your assignment, is to look for every wonderful thing you can and to notice. And since I'm going to wrap it up and with nature, I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. And open up the power of your imagination if you can. And let's go to the park with Pat. It can be any park you want. And imagine yourself looking, you're standing, you're about ready to walk into that park. Can you see the grass? And can you really see the grass? Don't take it for granted. The amazement of all those blades that make up all that grass. Can you recognize, even if you can't see it, that underneath are these very strong roots going down into the soil, an abundance of roots that enable the grass to grow. As you walk through that park, can you see the pond and all the water? And can you see some fish coming towards the surface? See them with your mind's eye. See the fish? And can you see the scales on the fish? Can you imagine, even if you don't see them, that underneath there are turtles and worms? And then look up. Can you see the tree? First, see its branches. The abundance of branches on one tree. And And then count the pigeons. Don't go underneath the tree. Count the pigeons. And each pigeon and all its feathers. Keep walking through. Maybe you see some people playing, laughing, the abundance of love and laughter. It is so easy to do. Take yourself out of the park. Can you see the mountains? Can you see the snow cap on the mountains? And it looks maybe so little, but imagine all the flakes of snow that make up that cap. It is abundance. And so everywhere we look, we can spy with our little eye amazing things to inform us that we are truly living in an abundant universe. And with our eyes closed, I'm just going to move us from here into our final prayer. And so all of this that we can imagine in our mind's eye comes from the same creative source that created everything, everyone, everywhere, as far as our eye can see, out into the cosmos, the stars that hang in the sky. Our galaxy alone is humongous. Who knows even what's out there beyond it? It's an abundant universe. And that one creative power, whether you call it God or the life principle or the universal presence, is creative of all of it. And so we open our arms and our heart to remember what life is. And then while we do that, let's remember that we are created of this power. We are created of this same loving, abundant power. And so who we are already is abundant. Who we are is already perfect and unique and whole. And as we align ourselves with it, I know for us that we this week are able to spy so much goodness. I know for us this week that we are able to open our arms up and make welcome the rain, make welcome the love, make welcome whatever it is we are in need of. Everything that we need is available to us. And we today open our heart and our mind to know this bigger than we ever have before. And so with this claiming for us, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to remember. I'm grateful to know, and I'm grateful to speak the word. And so I can release it now. I can release it into that spiritual law that knows what it's doing and can only say yes. And so I let go and I let God. And join me in saying, and so it is.